Hi, I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you on YouTube Live. Man, we've already got some people in here, kind of nice. I see we got Julie in here, Southern Mama Drama. We got Neil, the urban explorer in here, Mr. Don't Mess 1996. How is everybody doing tonight? As you see, we got new toys, new gadgets. We are playing around, seeing what we can do. I want to say thank you to William Rosebrock. Don't know if he's in here yet. But the cool thing about it, Will's been up here making sure I get taken care of today. I see we have the lovely Lucinda Lavender in the house. How we doing, girl? How have you been? What's been going on? During all this lockdown, I don't get to see all my people. This is kind of crazy. How's everybody doing? Man, this is a Monday, so we're getting back into the roll of things. Been a busy day. The phones are ringing, which is always a good thing. So things are actually going well. Got Stan Chubik in the house. How we doing, brother? Matt Lent, St. John, Canada. Let me see, make this go here. And I'm learning how to play with my new toys. So we see what we got there. This is actually pretty cool. And I want to make sure that I get this right. I should have a green dot on the ones that I have not showed, that I have showed. Okay, perfect. So, man, I am going to get this puppy figured out somehow, some way. I'm going to play with it here for just a second. There we go. So we got William Rosebrock up here. He has been busy, and make that happen there. So I'm through playing around here for a minute. So how is everybody doing? Number one, let me know where you're at. I see we got, and Neil, it is good to see you in here. I know we're having fun today. Will's been in here all day working on vMix. And the reason we're doing this, the reason that we got into it is that, man, I want to be different. I want to do something. As you see, we're bringing in comments. We're playing with fun things. But what we're doing is we're trying to find a way to do things better. And I'm wanting to get to where I can interview people. And if I'm going to get to where I can interview people, I got to find a better way to do it. And I want to do it at a higher definition. So that's what we're in here. Yeah, you'll have to ask Will. Neil, he's been playing with it. I want to say thanks to Neil, the Urban Explorer, and Julie and Will for being in here. My moderators, great people. Be nice to them. You be nice to them, they'll be nice to you. That's the way it works, man. It's always a great thing. So man, we're playing with new toys. I've got my little stream deck here. If y'all see me look down, it's because I'm trying to find out where I'm at. I will try to bring stuff up as much as I can. And I'm going to roll back down here a little bit because that's the way I roll. Let me see what I can do. Okay, we got Dave in here. Dave, I'm great. How are you doing? Great to see you here, sir. Fix It Scotty is in the house. You know, what's happening? Are handymen allowed in here? Well, handymen come in because they're on my channel. Here in Texas, handymen are not allowed to fix plumbing legally. You're supposed to have a plumbing license in order to do it. But you know what? I know that I've got handymen that come in here and watch my content. They learn how to do things, and my thing is, at least then, and they're doing it right, which is always a good thing. Got Super J in the house. What's up? How's everything going? I mean, how's everybody doing? We're on lockdown. Will just came in and told me a while ago that the governor of Texas says, look, we're going to lighten things up here in a little bit. I don't know how much. I think he said April the 30th is what Will told me. So that means this week, basically. Pretty interesting. Stan says he's doing good. Let me see how this works. Looky there. I like that. Will, I learned a trick. So that's pretty cool. You know, if the governor lightens things up, that's good because, you know, people need to get out. People need the sunshine. I get it. People need to go to work. People need to do things. But, man, here's the deal. I don't want people to get out too soon, get sick, and here we are right back in all this. Neil, how are y'all doing? Is everything going good there? I mean, I really hope it is. I see that, you know, got Julie in here talking to Miss Lucinda. Lucinda, what's going on with you? How's mom and dad? I hope everybody is doing well. Neil, man, I hope y'all are doing okay over there. Things are starting to get better here. It really is. So it's kind of nice. Perfect thing to do my plumbing homework too. You know what, Mr. Dolmest, you're absolutely right. Uh, Man, I wish I had stuff like this to do homework too. Let me see here. We got Anthony Dean. This is a long one. Hey, Roger, I have a question. Nowhere is hiring for plumbing helpers or assistants, and I was wondering if you have any ideas what to do so I can learn. Anthony, tell me where you're at. I don't know, how things are where you're at. If you'll go through my videos, man, I've got videos on my channel about learning with the UPC, learning with the IPC, different code books, things like that. But I had somebody call me last week, and it was really great. Had a company call out of Houston, and they called in, and actually it was the owner of the company, and she said, "Look, I just want to let you know that my guys are watching your videos, and they've actually created tests off my videos. So the guys will watch my videos, and then they'll come in and get tested on it, and they get rewarded for it." And I thought that was so cool because look, I love teaching. I love helping people. So man, that was just really, really cool. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I am trying to figure out where I'm at I'm like 3 pages behind on boy, this will be fun. I am definitely 3 pages behind on comments. I didn't know I had pages. So, some of these are an hour ago. That ain't me. No, they're not. Guys, give me just a minute. I am trying to figure it out. Here, flip this over here. You flip that over and look at that, and I'll play with this. So anyway, let me see which camera I'm on. Man, I am right here. So we're playing around. This is all new. See, it says 59 minutes ago. And it may just be the timer on my clock. So anyway, guys, look, when we get in and play with new stuff, this is what happens. But, here's what I would tell you is, look, the videos that we put together help people learn plumbing. Whether it's a homeowner, whether it's an apprentice, I've even got plumbers that send me messages and say, look, I did not know how to do that thing you showed. So we're working on that, and we're trying to get better at it and make better videos. But, we're still trying to get caught up on videos. With everything going on, it's kind of crazy. That's where I'm at. Okay, perfect. So anyway, I know, Julie, I need to quit playing around and go to work. And we can also bump the air down a little bit, Will, if you would, please. So, the cool thing is, man, I love having Will here to help me. Let me tell you what, it makes my life so much easier. And all these new toys, man, it's kind of nice. So let's do this. Looky there. Julie, I know, quit playing around. We got Jimbo from Dayton, Ohio in the house. That's fantastic. Emilio Ramirez says they are staying busy in Sacramento, California. And Neil wants to know how vMix is compared to Slobs, OBS. Tell Julie, know who the boss. Oh, look, Julie knows I know who the boss is. Let me tell you what. If I don't know who my boss is, there's a problem, and she reminds me all the time. Look like Ox Baker, Jimbo. I don't know who he is. Lucinda, Mrs. him. There we go. Got one right here. Hello, sir. Here, apprentice plumber from Chicago, the Daff family. Welcome to the channel. Don't know that I've seen you in here before. That is fantastic. We're at in Chicago, and I am going to try to go to the next page, and I don't know which way to go, but I think I'm going to figure something out. My little dots went away. Lucinda Lavender, me too. Happy hour with my girls. Yeah, well, I don't know which one was I on? One's the newer, so I'm on 2 now. Fix It Scotty or Handyman allowed to, okay, I already got that, and so now I know where I'm at. Randy Edie, hello from Atlanta. Good to see you in here. How are you? And of course, look, I'm playing around, and Julie's right. I got to quit playing around. I've been in here working today, just so y'all know. We're actually working on a new studio. Ooh. Okay, so Neil's over in the United Kingdom, just so y'all know. 3 more weeks of lockdown, and you think another 3 after that, but it's okay. It's kind of like it is. It's nice and quiet, isn't it? Here's the thing. They're talking about opening up Texas already. Will said that the governor got on and announced a while ago that April 30th, they're going to open theaters, restaurants, man, hair salons. I mean, I know people need a haircut, but man, is it worth dying over? I'd just assume people stay home, take care of themselves, do what they can. Got Matt Lent in here. Apprentice training got lost pinned due to lockdown. Man, I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be really interesting to see how things go. And I say that because where are we going to kick off from? Where are we going to take off at? And Julie and I have had this conversation. What if we don't get to have football season this year? What if they can't start college? What if the pros don't have time for summer and things like that? So there's a lot of different things to look at and see, are we going to get there or what's going to happen? But I'm kind of telling you, I'm worried about what can happen. Don't get me wrong. I want everybody to be well, but I would hate to lose my Longhorns for a season. And I brought Julie up and now I can't read it. Julie says something. I got Paul Peck, drywall tube in the house. Paul, how are you, brother? I'm playing with new toys and I am getting lost, but man, I am having fun. Barney Films 85 says, hi, everyone. I'm doing fine. Been busy taking over for the normal service guy, so lots of calls. It's a fine sponsor sign you put up for yourself. Does that mean you will do a giveaway, maybe a tumbler? You know what? And that's funny because I was actually talking, man, I've got some of the best leak detection equipment that there is. And I was talking to a buddy of mine this morning, and he actually manufactures that leak detection. And he said, hey, look, I'd be willing to give you a plumber's kit to give away. And I mean, this thing's probably worth $2 or $3 grand. So I'm going to figure out what we can do to do a really cool giveaway. I mean, right now I've got like 34 people in here. It may not happen until we get up to 100 people. But I want y'all to go check out a company called Leaktronics. And Will, if you're out there, will you put the link into it? Leaktronics is one of the best leak detection equipment systems there is. And I've actually been working with Darren about designing a new system, mainly for plumbers. But what he's doing is fantastic. So anybody in here tonight, go over to Leaktronics, check it out, and tell me what you think about it. It was designed for swimming pools, but he's changed it up a lot since he met me. And now he's got a great plumbing section. And I tell you what, he does good stuff over there. So let me see, where did I go? Dante Richardson, prayers to you all. Absolutely. Jim Brandt, how we doing? Julie Wakefield saying hi to everybody. I love that. Danny Kane needs a haircut. And we will see what we can do to help you out. Nintendo 64, Illinois has mandatory mask when out shopping starting the 1st of May. Now, Dallas has started doing that. If you go into a public area, any public establishment, even when I went and picked up my lunch a while ago, they don't have a drive-through. So if you go through into a walk-in, you need to have a mask on. Matt Lent says, hey, Roger, Uponor or Riha? What's your take? I learned for Uponor, myself, lean for Uponor. You know what, Matt? I've always used Uponor. I love it. Found out about it. Oh, wait, who put in Roll Tide? Are you serious? Man, we can't be doing that around here. You see all this Longhorn stuff over here? Man, here we go. Matt, I love Uponor. I have since first time I've used it. I got a couple of Uponor expanders. Man, it's good stuff as far as I'm concerned. I don't know that I'd ever go off to anything else. You know what, Neil? We are back at work, and I mean, to be honest, plumbing has been considered essential here. So we really never quit working, and it's been wild, but man, my guys have been staying busy, so I can't complain at all. Okay, 1st of May. Okay, so we'll put up the, man, dry throat. It's Corona. I need some limes. We'll put up the link here to Leaktronics. Y'all go check that out and look at the plumber kit, because it looks like that's probably what I'm going to get to give away. And I'll tell you what, check out their equipment, check out their training. that is where I first went and learned leak detection. And don't get me wrong, I had some equipment here. I had geophones. I had a product manufactured here locally, but it just wasn't the best available, I didn't think. So I started doing studying. Leaktronics is one that I found. And I've actually been talking to Darren about trying to build something different. And we are working on it. So definitely looking forward to it. So let me see here. I have a Leda 7, it looks like. Can I do a 180-degree turn on a shower drain line? It would be 290s and angled down on about a 45-degree. No, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to have that much. You're not supposed to have a 190-degree radius in there. So I would tell you no. Leaktronics has a plumber's kit. Absolutely. Washington, D.C. had a mask rule. And, guys, here's the deal is a lot of people have the mask rules, but it doesn't mean that everybody's doing it. Barney Films 85 says, I'll check out Leaktronics on your recommendation. Never heard about it before. Still greedy and want one of those cool tumblers. You know what? I got to get some more made. I tell you what, and we probably have not had any of these made. Man, it's been over a year. And I think the last time I had them made, I had about a dozen made, and I'm down to just like 2 or 3. And I'm really lucky because this one here, let me see if I can get it the right way, has my name on it. Oh, man, we got the cameras in the wrong spot. That's what's wrong. No, we don't. Why am I there? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. Okay, so as you see right there, this one has my name on it. So the neat thing about it is I know it's mine. The problem is I lost it about a week ago and could not find it, and I was livid. But it is what it is, and, man, luckily I found it and got it back, so I'm all excited about it. So how's everybody doing today? I really want to hear what's going on. The Daft family. What do you think about flex shaft to rod sewers and drains? I haven't used it, but, man, I've heard good things about it. I'm wanting to try it. And, I was watching a video on it just a few days ago. Actually, it was one day last week. I love trying new stuff. And that's part of a syllabus I'm putting together for people coming up in the trades that really, they want to do things good. They want to do things better. They want to do things better. But most of them don't study. Most people don't look at new things. I tell you, it doesn't matter what trade you're in. Get up every morning and study 30 minutes to an hour, do research about stuff in your trade. New tools, new materials, new techniques. There's a lot of different things out there that can help set you apart from a lot of other companies. So I am always studying my trade, and I love it. The idea of me learning something that other people don't know, man, I think it's great. And if it can make my business do things faster, quicker, better, anything at all like that, man, I am all over it. So, where'd it go, man? I clicked on it and it just disappeared. Super J, my neck of the woods, I need leak detection. There you go. Roger, have you used the Bigfoot listening device? You know what? I have not, but Leaktronics has a deck plate. And I tell you what, this deck plate, man, it's great. I love it. So I'd put that up against just about anything. Super J says, love the video you did this morning. Which one did we put up this morning? We make so many videos at a time, or we try to. And I remember looking at it earlier. I'll tell you the one that I really like and was good. The other day, I did a video, and it was going out and doing a leak detection or a leak test on a house because we had already done it. And some of y'all that were here, I think we talked about it last week. Literally, it was crazy because another plumbing company had gone out, tested it, said everything was great. I said, no, it's not, because we tested it and I know it failed. We went back. The other plumber was there. And, man, I just showed him, hey, I'm sorry, but you got leaks. And he wasn't real happy about it, but he realized I was right. Not a good thing for him. Okay, Deontay Richardson says the Ohio Governor today said that construction would resume May the 1st, so I'm hoping the union will start doing interviews again. Man, good luck. And here's the deal is look, even when it gets back to normal, guys, it's going to be a new normal. Things are going to be different. It's not going to be the exact same thing that it was. And we got to remember that, because if we're neck and neck and elbow to elbow with people all day long, I mean, this disease isn't gone. This virus is still here. Just because a governor or the president or somebody says, hey, look, we're going back to work. Guys, it doesn't mean it's 100% safe. It doesn't mean it's a free-for-all. It means, look, we still need to look out for each other. We still need to look out for ourselves. And think about this. If you're one of these people that are going back to work, what happens if you carry something home to your family? Because that's my biggest concern. Look, if I get sick, if I die, you know what? Man, God meant for it to happen. But if I get out at somebody's house and I get something and I take it home to Julie because I didn't do things right, because I didn't protect my mouth, my nose, I didn't wear a mask, I didn't wear gloves, I did not do the things that I know need to be done, it's kind of crazy. And I'm just kind of looking, seeing if I got some toys here I hadn't played with yet. You know me, I'm just having fun. Danny Keene says, if you're old school, you're not. Look, and I am old school. I get it, but I believe in modern technology. I'm old school, but I also understand that, man, I can get in here and learn things and do good. If I'm Wilmot, Roger, I'm 16, want to enter a career in plumbing. Do you have recommendations on what to start doing now before you're out of high school? Griffin, I love the comments like this because, yeah, I do. What I would tell you is, number one, watch as many of these videos as you can. I don't know if you heard me a while ago. I got a phone call last week about a plumbing company out of Houston that has their plumbers and apprentices go through and watch these videos. They test them on it. They get scored on it. They can't retake the test. So some of these guys, they said, are watching these videos 3 and 4 times. So when they get the test, they get it right. They're tested on it. The first one to get through all of them, and I think they give them a list of 50 videos they want them to watch. And man, I think that's phenomenal. But the lady says, look, I want to call and tell you, we love what you're doing. You are teaching people good things about plumbing. And Griffin, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Griffin, I hope that you're very careful about the plumbing people you do watch, because I've seen some people out there doing videos, and I look at it and I'm like, man, that ain't right. So, be careful of who you watch and what you watch and how much of it you suck up, and start thinking, hey, I'm just absorbing the heck out of this video and it's not good information. The 2 good things that I would tell you, and I've got videos about it. I've got the UPC study guide and the IPC study guide. Those 2 study guides are amazing. And I know in one of my videos, I've got a link to them. Here's the thing is, learn everything you can about plumbing. Then when you're out in the field and you're being taught it, things are going to click a whole lot faster. And I like that. I think it's a good way to do it. I didn't start telling people that until probably 6 or 8, 10 months ago. I used to tell people, when you get ready to go take your plumbing exam, get the guide, study it, and do it this way. But then I got to thinking, man, if I'd have had those guides before I started or when I first started plumbing, it would have completely changed my world, because when people were explaining things to me, I'd understand it. Instead of they're explaining it to me, trying to make it make sense. And then a year later, I read it in the code book and I'm like, oh, that's what they were talking about. So anyway, man, watch these videos, watch them, at least 1,000 times a piece every day. That makes my numbers look good. I'm joking, but yeah, watch these videos, learn everything you can. And man, I do appreciate you stepping in here and asking questions. There's a lot of good people in here too, so ask lots of questions. Stan, open-minded, old school. Amen. Do I give certificates for the training in your online classes? Randy, I don't. And the reason being is, look, I'm not certified to do any teaching, and that's not true. I was certified by the union whenever I was a union instructor, but if I gave you a certificate, it wouldn't mean anything to anybody. Here's what I'm doing. We're putting together classes for, and we're still working on these. So if you go in there and buy this thing tomorrow, don't say, hey, look, there's only 5 or 6 videos. We understand that. We've got our syllabuses put together. We're putting stuff out. We're creating a Facebook group. We're doing things because we want to bring so much value, and it's hard to just do that all at once. So, and look, I know that we're getting behind, but with the coronavirus hitting, I've got guys off. I'm short plumbers, and I'm out running in the field trying to stay busy. So, and I know we're behind, but I promise you, we're going to bring you good stuff. Pipe fitter study guide, a 2x4. I like that. Super J says, I did a reroute on Friday. Holy crap, seen $150 worth of shark bites. God, that is sad. Why? I mean, oh my God, people. Okay, so a question earlier, that's why we have handymen. And I hope all handymen don't use shark bites. Anyway, remove them all and scrap them. Redid the manifold. How do you like them apples, right? I'll tell you what, man, oh man. And Super J's right. Look, we talk about the right way to do things. Don't get me wrong. I know everybody's got their own opinion about shark bites, but the thing is, we've gone back and fixed way too many leaks. So, we know that they happen. We know that, and look, guys, I believe there's an emergency use for shark bites. If it's an emergency cap, you're trying to cap something off. Look, I get it, but shark bites are not made for permanent use. And they'll tell you that they are, but to me, if they were, you should be able to bury them underground and hide them in walls and stuff like that. And let me tell you, when you find them leaking in those positions, it's not good. Griffin Wilmore, you are welcome, sir. Miller Twice, how we doing? It's good to see you in here again today. Mr. Don't Mess 1996, what's the difference in travel, offset, and travel? Okay, it's travel, offset, and run, but you were very good. Travel's how far it goes. The offset and run are like how far it offsets and the angle at which it goes. There's a good calculator you can get. It's a Construction Pro, Calculated Industries. I've got a link to it in one of my videos. I love that calculator. It has formulas where you go through and you enter your travel, your run, your offset, and it figures your pieces for you. Can't beat it. And that's a great thing to have on the job too. Yeah, Stan says lazy plumbers use shark bites. Amen. Elberg, should the water tube in the fridge or freezer last the life of the appliance? Is there any upkeep or flush for the line? You know what? It should last the life of the appliance, and I say that because I don't think that there's really a way to change them because they're inside the walls and body of it. And I'm sure an appliance man may tell you different. Most plumbers aren't appliance men, but man, I would say the life of the freezer. I'll check into that one, but yeah, I would think that they absolutely should. Stan, lazy plumbers use shark bites. Amen. Killer Rob, 1998. Nice to see ya. Jet sweat. Man, I tell you what, and it's funny, Super J, I love seeing that. A lot of people don't understand jet sweats. Luckily for me, I've used them for years. And it's really funny because in one of the Facebook groups the other day, I saw a plumber's tool bag. He had a picture of it, and there was like half a piece of bread in there. And he's like, who all knows what the bread's for? And, of course, I absolutely did. Danny, I love this. If I come to your class, do I have to grow a stash like yours? Absolutely. That's the requirement. And really, you can get in without it, but it costs you like $1,000 extra. Man, I'd say just grow the stash. People are going to love it. I'll tell you what, chicks dig it. I mean, Julie, do you love my mustache? I'm just saying. It looks good. Super J, you need a Plumbing Pal book by Paul Rosenberg. I will have to check that one out. I am not familiar with it. And there is no way. God, don't tell me I'm through all the comments already. I guess maybe I am. Okay, that's it. We're done. Check, please. So here's what I want to talk about today, because I made a video about this the other day, and I'm not sure it may be the one that went up today. What's going to be the new normal? What are we going to do from now on? Because I've read an article by the World Health Organization. They have proven that plumbers got sick from the coronavirus over in Hong Kong. Or people got sick. Let me correct this. People got sick by the coronavirus over in Hong Kong because in a high-rise building, they were allowed to fix their own plumbing, and they had disconnected a vent pipe. And, for those of y'all that don't know, vent lets sewer gases out, but it also balances the pressure. If you didn't have a vent on a toilet, when you flushed it, it would just suck the water all the way out. So it needs that fresh air for an atmospheric vent for a break. And what they decided is a family over in Hong Kong in I think it was a 50-story high-rise condo home or whatever it is. Well, over there, they're allowed to work on their own plumbing, or handymen are. Now, over here in Texas, you're supposed to have everything licensed. The person who installs it is supposed to be a permit pulled and supposed to be inspected for anybody who works on plumbing. And that's why handymen over here, they're not supposed to do plumbing. They're not supposed to advertise it. They're not supposed to sell it. They're not supposed to do it. And look, I know handymen that can solder. I know plumbers that can't. So great way to put it. But, the thing is, plumbers study code. We know what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do. And we know this because not only have we done it for years, but we go to continuing education every year to learn upgrades, learn what's new, learn what's going on. And I've had this argument with handyman. Code's for a reason. It's what keeps us safe. And look, I'm not just picking on the handyman. I'm just blanket statement. The thing is, code is what makes sure we do things right. And, I'm not sure where everybody in here lives, but in Texas, you've got to be licensed to work on the system. You've got to have a license. You've got to have insurance as a company, but you've also got to pull permits and get things inspected by the city inspector. And the reason that is so that the inspector comes and makes sure, double checks that the plumber did things right. And guys, look, every plumber's messed up before. I'm not going to say we're perfect, because none of us are. But the thing is, what are we going to do in the future? Because now, I've got some plumbing cities that are like, hey, we don't want to come look at it. Just take a picture, send it to us. I know plumbers that, man, they will take one picture of a great water heater, and that's the only picture they're ever going to send in for the rest of their life. They're going to take a video of a sewer drain that's brand new and say that that's the one that they installed when they really didn't. So, man, a bad thing. But what's it going to be like in the future when we have to go out to people's houses? Are we always going to wear masks? Are we always going to wear gloves? What is it going to be like? And I talked about that this morning, and I do remember now, that was this morning. So on Wednesday's video, that's what we'll be talking about. So if y'all will, Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock, jump on the channel and watch, because I want to talk about it a little bit tonight, because, man, it's going to be a different world. I'm looking at the wall, and the things I talked about are plumbers wearing masks, face shields, gloves, booties, Tyvek suits, and then sanitizers and stuff like that, wipes. Are we going to be wiping down our tools every job we walk away from? And a lot of guys will say, no, I'm never going to do that. Okay. So what happens when you get home and you go grab that tool because you need to fix your own water heater or something, and the bad thing is you laid it down at somebody's house and now it's got a virus or something on it, and you go to kiss your wife goodnight or your kids goodnight or something like that. We've got to start looking at the future and what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we're going to do things different, because we've got to protect ourselves. I mean, think about it. Up in New York, when New York was shut down, construction workers are still working because the millionaires still want their hotels. The the millionaires still want their casinos or the mafia, whichever one it is, doesn't matter to me. But, the thing is, we've got to look out for ourselves because I promise you, the mayors, the governors, nobody else is. If we're walking in people's houses, we need to know, is anybody here sick? Was anybody here sick? Is anybody running fever? Has anybody been in quarantine? There's a lot of questions that we need to ask. And the only reason is we need to take care of us. And if we're not taking care of us, nobody else is. And that's scary because don't wait on the governor or mayor or anybody like that to take care of you because it's not going to be good. Let me see here. Julie says, absolutely. Stan says, Roger, remember those fill valves that were 1 inch tall? Sold at the depot as a cross connection? Uh-huh. Absolutely. Hi, Roger. Did you apply for and receive the PPP loan? You know what, Ringo? Man, how you doing? Number one, it's good to see you in here. I hope so. And I say that because Julie has been working on that. Julie has been, look, we worked on it the first time. Our bank that we associate with, it's a credit union I've been with forever. They didn't do the loans, so we went and set up an account at another bank, and it didn't get processed. And, I mean, it was just by the time it did, the money was gone. So, I mean, Julie has been sitting, at the bank steps at Fort Knox so that when they open the doors, we can just back the truck up and fill it up. Man, I hope so. We're going to need it. And, if you look at it right now, our work has slowed down about 50%. I'm shorthanded right now anyway, so that's kind of good. It frees me up a little bit. But, man, it's cut down a lot. And, again, like we were talking about a while ago, what is going to be the new normal? And the new normal is going to be, man, we got to figure out what to do because there's going to be restaurants not open. There's going to be, man, I think I heard 22 million people just filed for unemployment. And I mean, guys, these are record numbers, but there's not going to be a lot of jobs to go back to because a lot of these businesses are going to close. And I mean, think about it. Think about what the city would look like with 30% of the business was closed. And that's kind of a number that I'm thinking is going to be real. So it's going to be really, really interesting just to see what happens. Stuart Cochran, 23 and unemployed. Where do I start looking at plumbing as a complete novice? Stuart, this is a great question. And, man, I appreciate you being in here. Here's the thing is, get that up there. Looky there. I've got a free mini course in my videos. So if you hadn't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and go check it out. That way you'll see when we update them or move them around or things like that. But here's the deal is, figure out what kind of plumber you want to be first. Do you want to be residential or commercial? Do you want to do service or new construction? Do you want to be union or non-union? And that's all that mini course is. And like I said, it's free. It will help get you through to figure out what kind of plumber you want to be. When I first got into plumbing, I just knew that I was going to be a plumber. And I had no idea that there was service and new construction, residential and commercial. I just knew that I had a friend whose brother was a plumber, and he said, hey, I can get you a job. And I said, okay, let's go. Luckily for me, I stuck with it because I figured out there's other type plumbing, other type jobs, different things you can do. And I mean, think about it. If I know a lot of people that if they got into plumbing tomorrow and the first job they went to was a stopped up toilet that had a bunch of poop in it, they'd be like, check, please, I'm done. So, me, I started out in construction. Look, I'm one of these people, seeing a toilet with poop in it doesn't bother me. But here's the deal. A lot of people it would. So that's what I put this course for together is to ask people, look, what kind of plumber do you want to be? I don't want somebody to get scared away from the trade before they ever even get started in it. So go through that, figure out what kind of plumber you want to be, and then get back with me because it depends on what kind of plumber you want to be as to where I would tell you to go. So Valentine Sanchez says, I finished a 100-hour plumbing service tech course and fell in love with the trade. As a starting apprentice, which tools should I get when I get started working? Man, Valentine, I'll tell you the same thing. Go take that course, the free mini course. And the reason I'm saying that is commercial and residential, different sets of tools. New construction and service, different sets of tools. Now, man, I've been doing this 40 years. I've got all the tools. I can literally go on any job in the world and pretty much I've got the tools for it. But I'll tell you this, there's a lot of tools that I have that I would not need to carry to a commercial job. There's also a lot of tools that I have that I would not need to carry to a residential job. I will tell you this. Number one, the company you go to work for, whatever company it is, ask them, what tools would you like me to have when I start? They may have a list. Now, if you've never been a plumber at all before, show up your first day with like a pair of channel locks, a tape measure, a pencil, a notepad, things like that. If you show up with just those few things right there, you're going to impress somebody. And the reason I say that is you are literally going to let them know, look, I came to learn, I came to study, I came to write things down. I want to get things right. But also learn to use that tape measure. Make sure you understand how the channel locks work. Which way do they go? There's a lot of different things to it, but contact the company you're going to work for, ask them what they think, and go from there. But take that course because I'm telling you, it will help you out. Ringo Hayes, pipe stretchers are a must in any plumber's toolbox. Man, you're a dog if I ever smelled one. And guys, that's a good thing. Is look, don't fall for stuff like that. Ringo Hayes probably has a pipe stretcher. I'm gonna throw that out there to begin with. He's probably also got a sky hook. But guys, there's certain things that as an apprentice you're gonna love it. Probably not. I was being sarcastic. You know, plumbers when they're really bored or they're tired of you or frustrated or you're asking too many questions, they'll tell you to go find a pipe stretcher. They'll tell you to go find a sky hook, a square coupling. Man, guys, there's nothing like any of those. But it sure does sound good, and it sure is a lot of fun when you've got an apprentice you want to mess with. Because, man, you can ride him hard till he finds it, and I promise you, he ain't never going to find it. So, Ringo, that's pretty good, brother. That's really, really good. Need the 1/2-inch and 1-inch pipe stretchers. Absolutely, Stan. Daily infection of disinfectant. Man, I'll tell you what, and Trump's going to save us all. Y'all just drink a little bit of disinfectant. You'll be fine. I'm joking. Trump said that the other day, not me. Let's see what the boss lady has to say. As a teacher, you've always washed your hands several times a day. You believe giving more personal space and gloves will be more common. Booties in the house should be the norm. And Julie, you're right. And a lot of those things are things that we talked about. You know, the cool thing about it is, guys, we're all going to be doing it. I think masks are going to be the new norm. We're going to be wearing them into people's houses just because we know, hey, look, with everything going around, it's a possibility. And I'm telling you, it's something you want to think about. Joe says, hi, Roger. I had several estimates last week where customers are trying to add a new gas appliance to their house, like fireplace or pool heater. What's the process on figuring out if they... Joe, I don't guess I got the rest of it, but I kind of figure I know what it is. Man. I don't know if the rest of it came up there either. I pretty much know the answer to this one already. Basically, you've got to do a gas load calculation chart. You've got to see how many BTUs the gas meter will handle. You've also got to go through, measure all the gas in the house, and you've got to do a complete load calculation chart because you need to figure out how many BTUs each one of those things uses. You've got to figure maximum usage. You've got to figure total footage. There's so many things to figure out. But, man, I'll tell you what, when you figure out stuff like that, it's fun. I mean, I'm telling you, I do. I actually absolutely love doing stuff like that. Julie's laughing. That's right. We're waiting to hear on the second round just to see what happens. And, hopefully it's all good, because I'm telling you guys, look, we're not the only business that needs this. I completely understand this. Pretty much every business right now is applying for it, every single one. And the reason is most people's businesses are slowing down, except for maybe fast food restaurants. And theirs is probably picking up. I remember when this first started, I was doing a job for a big wig at one of the pizza restaurants that actually has a lot of restaurants. And I told him, I said, look, if I were you right now, I'd be trying to hire every waiter that's not working because things have slowed down, make them a delivery driver, and just start advertising the heck out of it. Hey, look, if you're looking for a job, we'll hire you. And number two, man, we're going to put you to work, and deliveries are our specialty, and do whatever you can to make money. That's the way that I looked at it. And Joyce says, that's why we need to get back to work. Amen. Jim Brandt says, already wore gloves and booties before this happened. Also cleaned toilet before work began. And tools are cleaned and oiled at start of the day. Jim, man, you are all over it, brother. I love that. And guys, that's what we need to do. We need to make sure we're keeping ourselves and our tools cleaner than ever. Because, I mean, think about it. If this tool was sitting down at somebody's house and they came and picked it up, moved it to look to see what was under or whatever, and they touch it, well, man, now I could have a virus. We have got to start watching what we're doing and be careful. And even so much as how you take the gloves off. Do you know to slide your finger up under it and pull it off so you're not touching the outside? And once you get it part of the way off, then you can reach over and grab your other one and pull it off this way. That way you never touch any contaminated surfaces. Luckily for me, I learned that through Texas Instruments. So just kind of did 8 small service calls today. You might be having a little less calls than normal, but sure busy enough with our service guy not here. Barney Films 85, man. Richardson, Texas, right here, brother. Got a job. Service, absolutely. Super J. Stuart Cochran, you are more than welcome. Thank you. Super J says you need some people to come in and chat with you. You know what? We've thought about doing that. Actually, Will is working. Part of the reason that we're switching here and going to VCast is because I want to be able to bring other people in, or I want to be able to interview people. So we're working on things like that. I've just got to be very careful about who I bring in and what I do. It's got to be people I know. I've got to know the way they talk. I've got to know they're not going to come here and start dropping bombs. I've just got to know that it's people that understand the value of what I'm trying to do here. And I'm trying to do, man, y'all see this all the time. I'm trying to do things right. I'm trying to give away great value. I'm trying to help people, and I'm trying to help people help people. So, we're working on what we can do to get better. And we're working it every day. So Super J, that could happen one day, brother. I got some square couplings. You got square coupling. My first week, 5 years ago. I love it. So the supply house still makes fun of me. Now that's pretty good. I've never sent an apprentice to the supply house for square couplings, but I've dadgum sure sent them out to the truck for them. All right, so Stan says, Roger, that leak detection system have line location ability in slabs? I believe it does. I don't know if it's part of the system. I literally told him I just wanted to give away a leak detection system. I don't know if the one that he's sending me has the locating ability. I don't think it does, because I think that's a different head. But I'm telling you what, this guy has got some equipment that's phenomenal. It is really... This is one of the best leak detection equipments I've ever used. He's got a deck plate. He's got probes. He's got soft-sided plates for listening on walls. He has got some really, really cool stuff. And I'm telling you, he told me that he was sending it today. So, man, here in the next week or two, sometime here in the next month. And I got to figure out how to do it because I want to make sure I give it away to a subscriber. I want to make sure it's somebody who's connected with me on LinkedIn or on Instagram or, whatever it is. I want somebody that maybe can show me a video that they got it and just send it and say, hey, thanks. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to give it away. And somebody asked me in here one time too, are you going to give it away to somebody who can use it? Man, I hope so. I mean, I know I got homeowners that come in here and I love that, but most of them don't need leak detection equipment. So we're going to find a way that we can go through and say, hey, we want to give this away to a plumber. We want to give this away to somebody in the plumbing trade that's going to be able to use it and learn. Like I said, Darren's got a great training course. I went out to Calabasas, California for it. I've been out to Palm Springs for another one. I studied information from a guy in Florida here a while back. I am always looking at what can I learn? What can I do to get better? And to me, that's huge. Hamilton B, how are you doing? Says, hi, Valentin Sanchez. Where did you find a course for a 100-hour plumbing training program, if you don't mind me asking? And guys, I'll tell you, there's some training programs out there that they're, PHCC. Here we've got CEF, the Construction Education Foundation. There's places out there. The cool thing about it is, some of them are really good. Some of them are. I love PHCC. I've looked at their syllabus. I think that they're doing a lot of good things. The union, if you're in the Dallas area and you want to do service, don't join the union. I'm the only union company, and man, they don't train union or they don't train service, so it doesn't help a lot. But if you want to do commercial work and you want to be an employee, not a company owner, man, go for it. It's good for you. Actually, it's really good for you. El Drago 1932, you're 17, thinking about becoming a plumber. Got any tips? Boom, you're in the right spot. Man, I had this conversation a while ago. Watch every video I got because I teach a lot of good plumbing things. And the cool thing that I would tell you is learn it. Don't just watch the videos, learn it, study it, try to figure it out, try to make it all make sense to you because, man, this is a great trade. And, you're 17 years old, which is about the same time I got in. I ended up getting out and going back to school and all that. But, man, this is an amazing career. And you can get in here and you can learn so much and do so much. And it's so good for you. And if you really want a good future ahead of you, it's a great career to do. You can get in here and make good money, support yourself, support your family, and you can have a wonderful life. But there's also possibilities of growing, meaning you're going to get in as an apprentice. Then here in Texas, you'll become a tradesman, a journeyman, a master with all the endorsements. There's a lot of different things you can do. And you can move up, if you're at like a big commercial company, you can move up as a project manager, a superintendent, director of operations. That's what I was whenever I got out of the union and opened my own company. And then I got back in the union, which might have been a mistake, but, it is what it is. But I got back in the union because I wanted the benefits. I wanted the things for my guys. I mean, as a company owner, it's hard to be service here in the union in Dallas. So Julie says, I heard a podcast today where the guest said there will be other viruses in the future, and we all need to act like this is the norm for the future. And Julie, I hate to say it, but I think that you're right. I think you're right. I think it's what we're headed for. I'm going to call it Vexiex. It says Trump didn't say to drink it, and I agree. I saw the video, so I saw him turn and look at the lady and says, hey, maybe the disinfectant will kill it a little bit. And, he said, look, I was kind of joking. Look, we can't take everything Trump says as 100% serious and stuff. Look, I love Trump. I think he's got us in a good position or was doing good things for us before all this happened. And, everybody that wants to bust his balls because, well, he reacted too harshly or, hey, he's doing this too quick or whatever. You know what? We're in uncharted territory, people. we're doing things that no other president has ever had to do. And he's making those decisions. And he's got balls enough to stand up and make those decisions. So, you know what? I have no problem with Trump. I love his attitude. Man, if I thought drinking disinfectant would help me, I might at least think about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably not going to do it, but I'd at least think about it twice before I did it, though. Sam Ham, what are your thoughts when a client says, well, I used liquid plumber and left it overnight. Now I have a leak. I find it hard not to believe or not to have a chuckle. You know what? And Sam Ham, it's funny because I get plumbers bust my balls on here all the time about, oh, you don't like Drano just because. And it's not always plumbers. A lot of times it's handyman or homeowners. And here's my deal is look, there's a corrosive in there somehow. It may not be acidic, but it eats things up. The chemicals aren't good for you. And no plumber in the world wants to get them in his eyes. So, we've got to look out for ourselves. But yeah, I laugh because I have so many people all the time tell me, well, there's nothing in there that'll hurt the pipe. I can't believe you say that. You just do it because you want to make money. And my thought is, wait, did you see the videos where I teach people how to fix their toilet, teach them how to find out if they have a leak, teach them how to change out the disposal, teach them how to unclog the disposal? Wait a minute, I'm teaching all those, but I want to unclog your drain? So I'm going to lie to you about that? Get a grip, people. I'm doing everything I can here to give away my services. The Deaf family. Other than Rigid, what sewer camera do you recommend? Man, until I'm a distributor or a sponsor, I don't recommend any of them. And I know that's a bad way to put it. I use a brand that, believe it or not, most people hadn't even heard of. I reached out to them to try to become a distributor or something because it's a great product and they're just not readily available. I've actually tried talking to them about modifying it because, look, I use these things all the time and I see a different way to do things, and I'm just always trying to find a way to help. And one day I'm going to find like a company like that that's like, hey, let's work with Roger. Let's come up with something new. And when that happens, man, we're going to have some cool cameras. Nooch Martin, hello from Florida. How are you? And welcome to the big show. I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm a plumber, and man, I hope you're here to learn or contribute or help, but man, we're having fun. Sam Ham says, can we get a video inside my truck so we can see how you organize and stock your truck? I promise you, you do not want to be in my truck. My truck is a mess. And I say that because I work out of a pickup truck, a Jeep, and sometimes a van. So I never know where I'm at. This is part of a book I'm writing right now. When I started out my company, I started out with used vans with, and don't get me wrong, I've got shelving, I've got stuff like that in them. But, I wish that I could have afforded, the big, $40,000, $50,000 van with all the big nice shelving in it and 100% organized. So, man, I could wake up in the middle of the night and say, hey, there's 10 3/4-inch 90s, on this shelf right here. And, man, that's just never been me. I'm not that organized. I keep my stuff relatively straight and know where most of it is. But, man, mine is not the van that you want to see inside of, but I wish it was. Let me see. Sam, man, I'm sorry about that. I do know some people that have some great vans, though, and I'll contact some of them, see if I can get some of them to send me video of their vans, and I'll send that to you. Jim Brandt says, need to have a master's roundtable for advice and varying points of view. And, man, I agree. We're working on things where I can do stuff like that. I've got so many things I'm working on. Look, I want to help so many apprentices. I want to help so many plumbers that want to get better. And then I want to help so many plumbers that want to open their own company. And that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set things up and teach them the things that I've done and learned and whatnot. And I've got a lot of different things in the work, Jim. Man, you're right, though. A lot of people need help, and I'm doing everything I can to help. Stan says he wants to get his backflow endorsement. You know what? I had mine. I let it go because there's so many people doing backflow testing, and their pricing is so cheap that, man, it's tough to compete. So I just decided that I wasn't going to do it. Zachary Kent says, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the difficulty of finding a job with the current issues in the world. Happy to say I've just started your second week working in the field. Sore, but loving it. Zachary, man, number one, that is fantastic. Glad to hear that. I want to know what kind of plumbing you're doing. Is it residential, commercial, construction, or service? What are you doing? And where are you located? Man, I go back and think about what it was like when I started. And I'll tell you what, I loved it. Man, I was a go-getter and a hustler. And man, I really wanted to learn. But I also knew that if I worked my butt off harder than everybody else, and eventually one day I was going to make it. I keep thinking that one day I'm going to make it. So anyway, I'm trying. But Zachary, man, congratulations. Really, really happy for you. We used iodine as internal disinfectant. That's pretty funny. Ringo Hayes says you opened your plumbing business January 2020. Plumbers Plumbing in Fort Worth, Texas. Then the corona hit. And since you don't have any tax returns for the business, you don't qualify for it. Man, I get it. I hate hearing that. Man, that's a tough one. It really is. But, brother, don't give up. Get out. Thing that I'm working on a book. Networking. Find some networking groups. Master Networks, I think, is over in Fort Worth now. And get out and start meeting people. When I started out, I did not have money for Google. I didn't have money for AdWords. I didn't have money for pay-per-click. I didn't have money for any of that. And most people starting out really don't. But what I did have was time. And what I realized was with my time, I could walk into real estate offices and go in and talk to them. And look, I always try to dress nice. I've always got on starch shirts, starch jeans, nice boots, or not, maybe not nice, but clean. And walk in and just say, hey, I'd like to talk to a couple of your real estate agents about who they use as a plumber. And man, that's been a great way for me to grow a business. And it really has. It's helped. And man, over the years, it's got me a lot of work, but I make sure that I get out and network, and I'm in front of a lot of people a week, or used to be. Now I'm in front of a camera a lot. Let me see. Byax didn't say to drink it. Said he was being sarcastic after the fact. Absolutely. Conway's Gilder didn't even say to drink it, did he? Yeah, and I think he did. No, I'm not saying drink disinfectant. It was a joke. Conway's Glider. Vignex, so true. Don't understand why he did that. He's trying to be funny. And he says I think one of the doctors was over the right because he's like, oh, well, I mean, people can drink it and it'll make it go away, right? And look, that's just Trump, guys. I'm not complaining. Don't have anything against him. It's kind of funny sometimes. Bill Welsh, thanks for all the encouragement, Roger. Appreciate your attitude. Guys, here's the deal. Look, and I want to make this very clear is, look, I love plumbing. I love what we do. I think this is probably one of the coolest jobs I could ever have. And, I say that because I understand plumbing. I study it. I want to learn plumbing and know plumbing better than most people. And that's why I have all the endorsements that I have. That's why I do everything I do for this trade. I go down to Austin and fight for our license. I talk to senators. I talk to representatives. I try talking to the governor. The governor won't talk to me. Man, the deal is look, this is a great trade to be in. And if we protect it, we take care of it, and we do what's right, it's always going to be good. But if it gets too political, where it's just a bunch of games played, and that's what one of those congressmen said, the House of Representatives, y'all don't want to play a game with me. It's like, hey, I'm not going to tell you what I said. Hey, this ain't no game to me. This is my license, and this is real. So anyway, I know I kind of twist off and get out of it there now. Zachary Kent, new construction college, STEM building in Maine. I love that. So Zachary, tell me this: Are y'all busy up there? Man, are y'all staying busy? Are they letting y'all work? How's all that going? What's happening? So we got construction cronies in the house. Chris, how are we doing today? Great seeing you in here, brother. David, PIM. I have friends in Austin. Can you refer me to who's the best there? Okay, you have friends in Austin. The best what? The best plumber there? The best what? And that's what I'm asking, Dave. Plumbers, man, that's a tough one. Plumbers in Austin. I got one. Yeah, he's out in, God, it's not, maybe it is Buddha. No, it's not Buddha. It's, man, I can get back with you on that one. But yeah, I've got plumbers down there. Man, I got plumbers everywhere. It's great. Paul Peck still in the house. Chris, what's going on, brother? Alas de Dios. Alas de Dios. How are we doing? When you look for apprentices, what are the requirements you'd want from them? Like I said, the one that got me is the 1 year experience and driver's license. What would you require? Well, number one, in this trade, that there is driving. Whether you work at a construction site or you work for a residential service company, you've either got to drive their vehicle around, or you've got to get to and from work. And if you get pulled over and thrown in jail because you ain't got a license, you're not going to benefit anybody very much. So the big thing is, I love it. And you know what? I need to work on this video. And I was thinking about this earlier. What are good questions for a plumber to ask when he's applying for a job? Because I love it when I'm interviewing somebody and, I go through my questions, what I'm looking for and what I want and yada, yada, yada. But I really love it when they come back to me and say, because I'll ask them, do you have any questions I can answer? And they're like, yeah. What are you going to do to help improve me? What are you going to do to make me better? And I believe in training. I believe in education. Not just plumbing training. Sometimes it's personal training. Sometimes it's sales training. Sometimes it's communication training. There's so much different training out there that we all need to be getting and we all need to be learning. And I mean, guys, this is training that'll help any of us for the rest of our lives. No matter what we do, this is training that will help us all be better men, be better women, be better people, be better family members, be better community members. There's so many things that we can learn to help us improve ourselves. And to me, man, that's the kind of stuff. That's what I want to see. I want to see somebody walk in and apply for a job. It's like, hey, look, I want to learn. I want to learn how to be one of the best plumbers. I want to learn how to do things right every single time. I want to learn how to look at a house and listen to it and know what the problems are. And those are the kind of things that I look for, because to me, people like that, man, it's huge. Triscuits. What's going on, Roger? Happy to say back to work week 3 after being off for a month on a commercial job for a high school new construction. Glad to be back in the dirt. Triscuits, where you at? And you say in the dirt, so I'm assuming you're on the underground. My only problem, like I said earlier, guys, with these big commercial jobs getting fired back up, people going up and down the buck hoists. I mean, you're packed in elbow to elbow. Most of them aren't wearing masks. And I mean, just a couple of months ago, I had somebody jump in here and say, look, 4 or 5 people on our job got sick, and we're still all in the elevators every day. So it is what it is. Jim Brandt, you're in if you need help. Give me a yell. I will. And as we get further into this, we are going to be looking at different things that we can do, and I'm going to be reaching out to a lot of people. Kevin Drake Fitness, how we doing? Just got into trim work in your company. Was curious on your thoughts with trim work. Really love it. And do you think it would be a smart move to get into service work someday? I'm great at sales. Kevin, if you're great at sales, man, residential service is wonderful. And, I love getting people in that are good at sales, because they normally understand, like, it's not really sales. It's giving people options and communicating with them. What is it you're really looking for? People love to buy, but they hate to be sold to. And once you learn that and you learn how to communicate with somebody, man, I give them information. I give them options. Hey, if you're wanting the Cadillac View, here's what it is. You want what's going to fix it and make it last a long time, this is what it is. And you know what? You just want to stick a Band-Aid on it today, this is what it is. But if that Band-Aid falls off next week, there's not going to be a lot we can do. And when you learn to communicate with people and explain things to them and help them understand what the problems are, and what their options are. Man, it's a whole new world out there. That's fantastic. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Julia Wakefield, I'm sure it sounded different in the head. Absolutely. Tarek Somnez. Here we go. Sorry about that. Man, that jumped real far on me. Tarek Somnez. Roger, do you recommend taking online plumbing classes? Because I can't find a local school that also teaches hands-on. Tarek. Tarek, number one, let me know where you're at. We're putting together an online class. We've actually got one out there. I've got the free course to find out what kind of plumber people want to be, but there's another one that we're working on. We've got started. Will and I were actually talking about it today, the different things that we're working on right now. So we're fixing to start putting more courses in it. Although I did have somebody email me the other day and said they had a problem getting in. I've got to go back through and look at that, but just make sure if you get into an online course, I'd ask for some recommendations. Can you give me some referrals? Give me somebody who's been through it. Now, somebody like me putting one together, I won't be able to. But find some people that have been through it and say, look, did you get anything out of this? And I'm literally breaking mine up into, the very basics, the basics and the advanced. And, man, I've come up with like 4 levels. And don't get me wrong, it's going to take a while to get it all together. But, man, I see great opportunity. And I just want to help. So I think it'll be a really good deal. Preacher Kid, Bishop's son, you got to love it. Is the coronavirus capable of exiting the home into the pipeline and septic system? Well, I'm going to tell you about what I saw in an article. If you'll Google Hong Kong plumbing and coronavirus, you'll find out that they have figured out that in Hong Kong, the plumbing virus got in the vent pipe, and that's how a family caught it. Because in a high-rise over there, they had laws, a wonderful politician said, hey, if you're in a high-rise, you don't have to get the plumbing inspected if you do work on it. Either them or a handyman came in and worked on the system, didn't put the vent pipe back together. So literally every time somebody else flushed a toilet, it would push air up and out into their unit. Well, guys, if there's a virus in that air, guess where it's going to end up? And I can't believe that that people do things like that. Number one, vent pipes are made to vent. They need to go out all the way out the roof. But number two, why would anybody change the law, change the code, and say, look, if you live in a tall story building or a high rise, don't worry about the plumbing code. Do whatever you want to do. Man, you're in a position where you can kill a lot of people. So my question is, why do that? Why change things around? Why make it worse? And why put people's lives at risk? Because to me, it's exactly what they did. So yes, it can be done. And to be honest, and look, we're here in the United States. We're really doing pretty good because we've got P-traps. We've got things that in most cities and municipalities do things right, meaning we require permits. We get it inspected. We do different things like that. Can it still happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. Zachary Kent says, the company I'm working for has jobs lined up for a few years. I believe if I understood the interviewer correctly, good for you. And guys, look, there's a lot of big companies that do have a lot of work lined up, but there's also a lot of big builders that have said, hey, we want to hit the brakes for just a little bit. Guys, think about it. We don't know when we're going to be back to normal or what the new normal is going to look like. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes and see what happens. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole new normal. It is. So let me see. Construction Crony says, looking good. I gotta love that. I'm sorry, Chris. Thank you, man. Look, we're trying new things tonight. So those of y'all that are in here, and if you don't like what you're seeing, or you're like, man, he's busy looking down a lot, and he's doing this and that. We've got a new system in. We're playing with it, trying it. We are trying to get better continuously. And, you can ask Paul Peck, one of my moderators. He's in here. Now, we believe in constant improvement. I know Will was in here a while ago. man, we want to get better and we want to keep getting better. And the reason that we're coming over to this new system, that this vMix, is, I want to be able to interview Paul, Chris, Neil, different people. And I know that they've got a good equipment. I know that I've got some good equipment. So my idea is I want to be able to record them in HD, me in HD, so that when we edit it, man, it all looks and sounds great. And believe it or not, I'm doing this because, man, I'm just about getting finished building a whole nother studio. And I can't wait to drop some nuggets on y'all on what's going on. But, man, it is looking good, and we're having fun. So Sam Ham says, my service company, very tough, allowed to work, but many apartment renters don't want us working, even with masks and gloves and coveralls. Super tough. We are waiting on the PPP loan. And you know what, Sam, man, it's crazy. I'm telling you, I think this is going to be the new future. I literally think that from now on, for the rest of our careers, we're going to be wearing masks and gloves, maybe Tyvek suits, booties, sanitizer. It's going to be part of the normal, guys. And this is something that we need to get used to, because I'm telling you, I think this is the beginning of the new normal. And it's not necessarily going to be a bad thing, because think about it. Do you want to be the one going in and working on a plumbing system, getting involved in something and carrying it home to your family? How would you feel if you went home and made your wife sick because, speaking of my wife, you made your wife sick because you went into a house that somebody was sick and they didn't know it, so they didn't tell you? So, and different ways to look at it, but man, we've all got to be careful. Stan says, if the Texas State Board is resolved or dissolved, I guess, requirements drop on code enforcement, just means we'll be getting very busy. And you can look at it different ways. You can say we'll be getting very busy, but if they eliminate the license like Patty tried to do, Patty says, okay, everybody in Texas is a plumber now. Well, if everybody's a plumber, prices are going to plummet. I've been saying for a while, I think plumbers will be making $100 an hour in 5 years. The reason being, there's less and less people getting into the trades every day and more people retiring. So it's going to be different. And then think about it. These older people that are like, hey, look, I can go into a house that may have corona, or I just go home and retire. Well, which one would you do? I mean, I know what sounds good to me. I really know what sounds good to me. Keelan Foreign, you have an interview tomorrow to become an apprentice plumber. Do you have any advice? Man, here's what I will tell you. Dress nice, but don't overdress. Look your interviewers right in the eyes and be honest with them. Let them know why you want to get into plumbing. Let them know what you would like it to do for your career. And if you heard me talking a while ago, when they get to the end and they ask, do you have any questions? If they didn't say anything about what you can learn or how you can learn or what kind of training they have, ask. Say, hey, how will coming to work here benefit me? What is it going to do? Am I going to learn to be a good plumber? Am I going to learn to be a real good plumber? And just, find out what it is they're looking for and how it'll benefit you. Julie, the clips all was talking about injecting it. Okay. Sam Ham. And guys, slow down on the questions. I know that we're getting down towards 5:30, which is when I'm going to roll out tonight. So, Roger, watch your Google video today. How did you end up fixing the counter? Just glue. Blame the dishwasher, not the mechanic. And I love that, Sam. And see, you're going to bust me because Julie's in there right now, too. When I did that video about the dishwasher, I was lucky because it's a Formica countertop, and it had the Formica edge on it. And it was so funny because I had loosened up the screws and everything, and I didn't screw the feet all the way up. And when I grabbed it, I mean, man, if you saw the video, I just barely pulled it, and a little piece of the Formica right off the front of the counter just like popped and flew. And I'm like, what the? And I looked down, I was like, oh no. And it was kind of funny because I looked at it and I was like, ah. After I got everything done, I put a little bit of glue right there and slid that piece right back in. It fit perfect. And man, Julie didn't even know about it until she saw the video, or probably Will told her. He told on me. That's not right. And when your videographer tells on you for stuff like that, man, that is just not right. It's a good thing he's gone. We'd be fighting right now. Triscuits. Currently in California at the moment, every job site, though, in our vicinity requires masks, at least N95 and no less. Thankful to be working, though. Triscuits, man, look, I'm all over it. I would love to see everybody working. I just want to see us all working in a safe environment. Dave P. I am. Thank you so much, brother. Preacher Kid. If that's true, plumbers and septic workers are also first responders. When you have a backup in the house or yard, salute to them. And man, you're right. And I've said that all along. We are first responders. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, look, we're right up there with the doctors and the nurses and firemen and electricians and stuff like that. I mean, firemen and electricians, firemen and police officers. But, man, we are. We've got to go in people's houses. We have to trust that when they tell us, hey, I'm sick, or hey, I'm not sick, are they being honest with us? And, my CCR, Amber, is supposed to be asking people when she calls, hey, is anybody sick? Has anybody got fever? Has anybody been quarantined? Anybody in the hospital? What's going on? And we don't know if they're being honest with us. I mean, think about it. They're pretty sure they know that if they say yeah and they got a stuffed up toilet, it ain't going to get unstopped. So, I mean, why would they be honest? So we've got to make sure we're wearing the right mask, the right gloves, the right booties, everything. And it really is a big deal. Isaiah 92 says, what's everyone's break on removing some drywall? Going to add hot and cold water lines, drain line, gas line for a washer and dryer. Customer's garage here in Fullerton, California. Isaiah 92, I would tell you to jump over to Paul Peck Drywall Tubes channel. Check it out. And man, he will teach you some cool tips and tricks. And guys, if you're not subscribed to Paul, the Construction Cronies, I don't know if Neil, the Urban Explorer, is still in here or not. But man, jump over there, check them out. Great information on every one of them. These are some great people. Love having these guys in here. Charlie Stein is Dallas IPC now. God, yes. Yes. I got to think about that. Man, I'll have to go check. I know it's back and forth. And I always study the UPC. I love the UPC study guide, and that's why. But yes, I believe Dallas is IPC now. Man, they've been trying to fight this in the House and Senate lately, trying to get everything over to one code. It's a freaking trip. I wish the UPC and IPC would get together, shake hands, fight, whatever they want to do. It don't matter to me. Figure something out, and then find a way to say, hey, we're all going to be on the same page. Elias de Dios, how do you get 1 year experience for apprentice jobs when being an apprentice is the first step? And Elias, you're right. Call around to different companies. Just because one company told you that doesn't mean they're all going to tell you that. I mean, I love the fact that they want people with experience, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of companies that as long as you have like a mechanical aptitude to yourself, if you're mechanically inclined, you know how to work with tools, you know how to do this, man, come up with something. What city are you in? Go ahead and send off and get your apprentice card. Start getting things in place. That way you can say, hey, look, start watching my videos. When you walk in and tell them, look, I know how to unclog a disposal. I know how to set a water heater. I know how to troubleshoot one. I know how to do a drain cleaning. I know how to unstop a kitchen sink. That's why I'm telling y'all, look, study these videos. And I don't mean just watch them. I don't mean just watch a video. You'll sit there while you're eating Cheetos and rubbing your head and you got orange hair now. I mean, literally study the videos. Look at what we're talking about. Look at how we're talking about it. Man, if you need to go down to the box store and buy pieces so you can come in and rebuild your toilet, do that. Practice it. Shut the water down. Drain it down. Find out how to do it without making a mess. Find out how to rebuild it and work on it and do it. And do it every other week. Do it until where it's like, hey, look, I can rebuild that toilet blindfolded. Because if you can walk in and tell them, look, I know how to rebuild a toilet. I know how to pull and set a toilet. I know how to unstop a shower. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. man, you're building credibility. You may tell them, look, I don't have experience as a plumber, but you know what? I've done maintenance and I know how to do all that stuff. And I really think you might get a job opportunity. There you go. Construction Crony says, I have VMix too, and I love it. Man, we're literally, Chris, this is the first day we've used it. Will was in here earlier setting it up. And we're doing it, and you tell me, and maybe Paul, if he's in here, maybe one of y'all will know. The reason we are doing what we're doing is we want to get to where we can do interviews. So say I wanted to interview you. With VMix, I think that we can do it at a higher definition. I think that we can do a better video, maybe not an audio, but definitely the video. God, maybe the audio too. I'll have to check with Will. But we're upgrading cameras. We're upgrading software. We're upgrading studios. I mean, everything we do, we're trying to do better. And man, we love it. We work hard at it. So we're just literally trying to do everything that we can. So that's why we went to VMix, because we're wanting to use VMix Call. So do me a favor and let me know if you know anything about that or what you think about it. Mason Chamness, you plan to get into plumbing here in the next couple of weeks at your cousin's business. Any tips? Mason, yeah, just like I've been saying for the last hour and a half, watch the videos. And I know that sounds crazy, but look, I teach people how to rebuild toilets, how we do sewer water tests. You'll see me talk about tools, fittings, materials, different things, how to rebuild a two-way clean out, how to cut and install one by yourself. There's a lot of stuff that I do that by watching it, you'll get an understanding, you'll get a sense, you'll get a feeling. Watching me use the power tools. There's a lot of different things that I do that, and it can really help you and not just help you get into the trades, but help you understand the trades more when you do get in. And if you one big tip is learn how to look ahead of your plumber. And what I mean is, if your plumber's doing something and you can see he's fixing to need a pipe stretcher, go get the pipe stretcher. And that was a joke. If you see that he's fixing to need some 3/4 couplings, another piece of pipe, stuff like that, try to stay ahead of him. The very best apprentices that there are always ahead of their plumber because they see what they're looking for. They see what they're getting to. And look, you're not going to know that in the beginning, but learn to watch him, learn to think ahead of him, and you will become so beneficial. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the great Paul Peck in the house. And I told you a while ago, you're talking about cutting into a wall, things like that. This is the channel to go to. He says VMix sounds awesome. I love that. Paul, here's what we went to VMix for, and I was talking to Construction Cronies about it a while ago. I'm wanting to be able to interview people like y'all. And we're looking for a high definition way to do it. We want to do HD, 1080. I know that we're probably not going to get to 4K or anything like that, but we're wanting to be able to record the interview, record both sides of it, and then edit it, mix it, whatever we want to do later, and play with it. And I've seen a lot of the videos that are being done on Skype and Zoom and stuff like that, and they're not bad. We're wanting to go better. We're wanting to go higher. We want to go more definition. You know me. Look, I want to try to do it as good or better than anybody else. And, I probably need to reach out to David Foster and Loria over at Live Streaming Pros. Again, guys, if y'all are into YouTube or you're wanting to learn YouTube or anything, great people to watch. But anyway, that's what I'm wanting to get into, and that's what we've looked at it like that for. So, guys, if y'all have not subscribed to Paul Peck, Drywall Tube, Construction Cronies, anything like that, man, make sure you do. Great channels to watch, follow, and listen to. Danny says, Roger, would you hire a kid with pins and hooks in his face, one that looks like he fell into a tackle box? Danny, I'm not going to say no. I may say, hey, look, you got to take those out during the day when you go into customers' houses. You got to remember, as a residential service company, we've got to go into anybody's house. And I need those people to feel safe and secure and comfortable. Now, would I hire them if I had a full-blown construction site and this kid, was like, look, I want to learn, I want to work? Man, I have no problem with that. But do I want to send him into people's residential homes? Not if they're not if they're going to feel uncomfortable having him in there. That's a tough one. Mr. Don't Mess, 1996. You ever tell a plumber to get a toilet whistle? That's what my guys come. No, hadn't heard that one yet. Chris Haynes, whatever you do in life, please learn from my experience and don't sleep with the manager, regardless of how attractive she is. Man, that's one that'll get you. Paul, Construction Crony says, Paul, yes, I have been using it for 6 weeks now. The quality's the best. It's pricey, but worth it. And man, my thing is, look, I'm not worried about the price. And don't get me wrong, I watch the price, but I want what's going to give me the best video. We upgraded. This here is the Sony, something. I think we went the 5100, 6400. God, I don't even remember. But we've got the Sony here. I can't see the letters. I can't see. I ain't got my glasses on. And I've got a Canon M50 right there and Sony over here. And I've been looking at different cameras. That neither one of these were super expensive, but we're still wanting so that if I interviewed either one of y'all, we had it in high definition so we can cut it, edit it, put it together the way we want, and then put out a video like that. So that's what we're looking at it that way for. Diego Vasquez, finally got the time to come and watch you live. Man, I love it. Welcome to the show. Glad that you are here. David, I am. Cool. You want to help grow your bottom line? Thanks for sharing your superpowers at Video Marketing World and VidCon. David, I tell you what, man, I had so much fun. Number one, Video Marketing World was great. We just finished that this week. It was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I got to speak at it on Saturday, did a presentation. Thursday, I did a presentation for Smart Film Entrepreneurs Group out of Phoenix, and I got a call from them today, said, oh my God, you were one of the top 3 presenters voted on by everybody. And guys, look, I'm a plumber, but I'm learning social media. I'm learning how to use it well. They'd asked me to speak on a panel, and I did that. And then they asked me to do a full-blown presentation on YouTube. I did that, and they were like, oh, my gosh, people just loved your presentation. They learned a lot from it. They enjoyed listening to you and said that you were really good. And I put the information clear and precise so they could understand it. So it really was a big deal. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Stan says, don't get close during lightning storms. Man, there's a lot of things, and guys, I know that it's a whole new world out there, and I'm not going to answer any more questions. So, number one, I want to say thanks to Construction Cronies, Paul Peck, Urban Explorer, William Rosebrock, Julie Wakefield, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thanks to my moderators for doing things to help make everything work, guys. I love what I do. I love being a plumber. I love the fact that I get to walk into people's houses, figure out what problems they've got, and take care of them. And I know that I'm being honest with them. We did a video last week about another plumbing company almost costing a buyer $40,000. And it really is funny because, that video got like 30,000 views in one day. And, man, here's the deal. Be the kind of plumber that's going to do things right. And even if you're not a plumber, if you're a sheetrocker, if your name's Paul Peck Drywall Tube, and I don't worry about Paul. Look, I love these guys. I know that they're good people. But what kind of plumber do you want to be? What kind of reputation do you want to have? Whether you're a plumber, whether you're an electrician, HVAC tech, a roofer, it really doesn't matter to me. What kind of person do you want to be? And one of my first plumbers that I ever worked with, one that I really learned from, respected well, and still admire to this day. He's a great guy. But I remember asking him one time, what made you always want to do things right? Because he taught me, he says, look, it does not matter who's around. It does not matter at all. You always do what's right. And it was really funny because when he did that, I asked him one time, what makes you always want to do it right? And he said, Roger, I never wanted to be out in public with my kids or my wife or anybody else and have somebody come up to me and say, hey, you did us wrong. You did something wrong. You cheated on us. You damaged our house. You cost us money. You charged us for something you didn't do, whatever it was. He said, I always wanted to do it right. And man, I get that. And I personally think that is one of the greatest ways to be. So I'm lucky for the people that I learned from and so happy that I got to do what I got to do. Paul Peck, you got to love it. Nice poop talk today, Roger. So, guys, here's the thing. I hope you love what you're doing. I hope you're enjoying it. But also I hope that you're trying to be the very best person that you can be, whether it's in the trade, whether it's for your customers, or whether it's for you trying to help other people. Right now, we all need to help everybody we can. So thank you very much for being here tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you come back and see me next week. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.